Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker created a committee of 18 people to help the state consolidate its programs focused on early childhood education. One of the members of this committee comes from the Quad Cities. Marcy Mendenhall is the president of SAL Community Services. A lot of people still know as Skip Along. She is on this committee, assigned to help this transition. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We know all this is really still in the early stages. There was a meeting of some kind in Chicago this week, earlier on Tuesday. What happened there?
Well, really, we're talking about those transition teams. And part of my job as CEO, when we think about SAL, we really think about those three letters, about support, advocacy, and learning, and this opportunity that we have to really create a new system for early care and education. And I think it's really going to be impactful for those children and families. It's really going to be supportive of streamlining services and also making sure that families have equal access.
What is the charge of this committee specifically, or I guess the overall goal?
Yeah, so there's lots. It's
a
really
big task.
It is a big task. We'll be looking at consolidating 3 state agencies: the State Board of Ed, Children and Family Services, and Early Care. DHS as well. And so when we think about that, we have to look at data. What's the data out there that's going to help us make the best decision? It has to be family friendly. And family friendly means, how do we get diverse, culturally appropriate, and high quality childcare to everyone? That's looking at homes, that's looking at schools, that's also looking at center-based as well. And we'll be attaching, looking at funding sources. Right now, as providers, we are looking at those 3 different systems. How does that streamline as well? And then lastly, we look at funding for adequate workforce. COVID would challenge early care and education and all the pieces with that. So
and just another layer of challenges that has already existed, really, when you think about it.
So we need a really well-funded.
When do you expect to get into the real nitty-gritty work to start this committee?
Yeah, it starts next week.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then we'll be meeting over the next 2 years and really meeting to understand all the different components and then being able to inform and really guide this group.
How do you see your role on the committee, or has that been defined for you already?
It has not, but because of my experience between Skip Along and our home child care network, we service 800 kids a day. We have 2 child care resource and referrals from here to Peoria and stabilization services. We have this continuum of services that really will help inform and build capacity in the group. I think it's really invigorating to have this innovation because we want to make sure about streamlining services. It's going to be no wrong door.
And you're peeling off pieces of these 3 large agencies. When does the governor expect to have some results from all of you?
2 years.
2 years.
We are on a fast and very...
Seems like a long time, but it's really not.
It's really not. But it really started back in 2019. We had an early childhood commission who made this recommendation. It's really embedded in Governor Pritzker's Smart Start, which is enacted last year. It is really... the whole focus is to make Illinois the #1 state in the nation for early care and education.
Marcy Mendenhall, good luck with all of your work on the committee and everything you do with SAL Community Services. Appreciate your time this afternoon.
Great, thanks.
We provided more information about Illinois' early childhood education and care transition advisory committee, as well as SAL Community Services. That's all online for you at ourquadcities.com.